What's it called?
I think it's called Moby Dick or something, or White Whale or something like that.
Hmm.
Based off Moby Dick.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Thought it was
I
just
didn't know
called Fat.
It's called Fat.
I thought it was called Fat.
Is it?
I don't know. Those were the
Why
two
was
that
Cartoon
were picked.
Network shutting down? Just
So-
By someone else.
It's the whole Warner Brothers thing.
Okay.
Like Warner Brothers, what were they merging, or they were downsizing the company or something like that?
Warner
They're-
Brothers merged with Discovery.
Discovery. There you go.
And
Okay.
Discovery is taking like a big axe to shit that's like costing them money.
Hmm.
So they're like,
Do people watch? I don't know if people watch Cartoon Network. Do they have like original programming and shit?
I
well,
think
that's the reason why they were gonna cut it down, because there's less like views and stuff like that.
Honestly, it's just cheaper to have like a Cartoon Network streaming service, and then if you want to watch reruns of cartoons, just watch them there. I
Yeah,
just don't
I think-
see.
I
Sorry.
think the big thing is that it may not be so much that people are watching Cartoon Network, but they're watching Adult Swim, and that's on the
That's
same
true.
network.
Is
And
that like anime and shit, or what is that?
Adult Swim has all kinds of shows, mostly animated, but they do have a few live action stuff. Like they have the Eric Andre show, which
Okay.
is really funny.
Okay.
And that
Still
one's live
going on?
action. I don't think Eric Andre's had a new season in a while. Like I think it's been like a year, maybe a year and a half. But to my understanding, it hasn't been canceled.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
All this is new to me. I just Cartoon Network is just something that I haven't consumed since I was a child, and I remember that the what I was like fucking obsessed with was because it was my first exposure to, it was really my first exposure like to American media, because living in the border, if your mom's not watching fucking Cartoon Network, right, she's watching fucking novelas and Univision and shit. So it's, I want to watch cartoons, and Cartoon Network is my first exposure. I don't know if they still make them, but I was fucking obsessed with the cartoons,
Yeah.
which was like Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo, I think, Cow and Chicken, Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Yeah.
Like, I think these are like late 90s, early 2000s cartoons.
Yeah, it's all good
Original
shit.
ones.
Mhm.
Yeah, because before that, then they would play like Tom and Jerry and like the fucking
Yeah.
from the 50s and shit.
Mhm.
So yeah, and then I mean, you kind of grow out of it, and I just didn't have a like a taste for like the Adult Swim kind of thing. My thing was, and I know Juan and I have talked about this. Fucking pro wrestling when I was a kid, like that was my thing. Like I'm not gonna watch fucking cartoons over like Stone Cold Steve Austin fucking beating the shit out of someone. Like that was my thing. And furthermore, the one cartoon that I was like fucking obsessed with, and it was in Cartoon Network, it was Digimon,
Hell yeah.
which
Yeah.
which they aired, and I don't think it exists anymore. They aired on Fox Kids,
Yeah.
which the local Fox broadcast would become Fox Kids for like 2 hours during the day, and then Saturday morning. So if you wanted, like, they would do reruns during these motherfuckers, bro. They would do reruns, or they would like play the series during the week, and then Saturday morning was like the premiere episode if you wanted to find out what happened. And there was no streaming back then, dude. So if you didn't wake up at 7 a.m. to fucking watch what happened on Digimon, like, you're kind of fucked.
Mhm.
So yeah, I understand, like, if they axe it, is because those habits don't exist anymore. People don't get together on Thursday nights to watch like Friends anymore, like they used to back in the 90s. Like, you could fucking stream it whenever you want. I don't know if, because I know there's a show, the Game of Thrones show.
Mhm.
I feel that a lot of people were like engaging with it at the same time. Did they premiere the show like at a specific hour and then
Yeah.
it's on demand, or how did? Oh, okay.
If
Yeah,
I'm
like
not
Habit.
mistaken, they crashed the HBO Max when they first premiered that
Oh
one
shit.
episode.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah. So
it's like done at the same time. Like if the episode airs live on HBO, the channel, like at around 8, and at the same time it's put up on streaming.
okay.
So you can watch, if you have cable, you can watch it on the TV, or if you just have the app with the streaming service, you could watch it there as well. But it is broadcast at the same time.
Yeah. What's Warner
Mhm.
Bros. Warner Brothers streaming service? Do they have one?
It's HBO Max.
HBO Max.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Mhm.
So what? Just fucking put Cartoon Network content on it. Like I don't
They
understand.
already do.
It is on there
Oh, there
like-
it is. There you go. So why are people bitching about? Why are you guys
because
bitching
they're
about like Cartoon
cutting the
Network?
content from the streaming app too.
Oh shit. Okay.
They're completely killing the animation department, and they're getting rid of shows that were already on the app, and shows that were ongoing. They're canceling them, even though they were pretty much done with production. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
They can just air it, but they're not. They're killing it. They even killed 2 movies. One of them was was it Batwoman or Batgirl?
Back,
Batgirl with Brendan Fraser. They're like, that movie was ready, and they cut it, even though it was pretty much done. And so that's why a lot of people are upset. Again, the one that's taking the biggest hit is animation, but that's more or less why there's a lot of outrage on it, because
Or would I watch like Tom and Jerry episodes if I wanted to, or Ed and Eddie episodes?
Ed and Eddie is on HBO Max.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But once this happens, like where would I? There isn't anything, right?
No, it's gone.
You're kind of
I
fucked.
mean, you could
Yeah.
probably buy them online.
That's the thing.
Buy 'em from like
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Ed and Eddie had, like, I think probably had like DVD releases back in the day. So you might still be able to find a copy of it somewhere out there in the ether, but you have some of the newer shows like Infinity Train that never got a Blu-ray or home release. So those shows that were removed from HBO, they're gone. You can't
Yeah.
buy them anywhere. You can't even buy them officially because they were never released on DVD or Blu-ray, and you can't find them on Amazon Prime either or any other streaming like pay to watch service. It's gone. It's fucked.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of this is coming from. It's that, well, there are people that want to watch it. Shit, there are people that are willing to pay money to watch this, but it's gone. They just killed it. And so that's where a lot of this is coming from, because it's like they stand to make more money from keeping these projects alive than by cutting it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although, like, if shit's already made, like, I don't understand why you wouldn't just like air it.
Yeah, like I think in
Unless they're planning to release it like like Brendan Fraser's movie, like, oh, let's just release it in theater, see what we can make out of it.
Well,
Mm-mm.
the thing with Batgirl, what I heard was that they canceled it because they didn't want to spend the extra money on promotion. Because promotion is another beast unto itself. So, like, the guy didn't think it would make its money back in the first place, so why even like release it?
Yeah.
Which I
which
can kind
is
of understand.
which is
So,
silly
from a
because
business
it's-
perspective, how do you think you could make some money out of it? Like direct to Blu-ray or some shit?
or direct to streaming.
But even then, I think would be like if the dude is like really serious about not like promoting it at all,
Yeah.
there's no way it's gonna make any of the money that they already spent back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
that's not what I meant. Like profit off of it, like just make some money off of it.
like no, they stand to profit off it if they release it. Like just release it, and it'll make profit. Especially considering
Or
that
do you think it'll make money or it'll make profit? Because those are
No, they'll
different.
make money.
I think it'll make money. I don't know if it'll make profit. Yeah.
Well, it's hard to say because they're not even giving it a chance to
Yeah.
go to theaters. The reason I would argue that it probably would make profit is that one, it's a Batgirl movie, so it's a new
Yeah.
character that hasn't gotten her story told, and then two, it's Brendan Fraser's like comeback.
Yeah, I know. That's what I know. Well, maybe that's what they're waiting on though, because I think his movie, well, you know how he cried and people gave him a standing ovation.
Yeah.
I don't think that shit's hit the theaters yet. I think it's,
No,
it's
it
still
hasn't.
on the fucking what do you call it, on the
Like film
festival
festivals.
circuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So one, that now that you mentioned that, I feel that that's the like, hey man, if his
Well, that's-
movie like fuck, he's like a fat
That's
dude
what
or
I
some
was
shit,
thinking,
right?
too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that's so
I think
that
the movie's
that could
called
be like
Moby
the
Dick.
promotion. What's it called?
I think it's called Moby Dick or something, or White Whale or something like that.
Mhm.
Based off Moby Dick.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Thought it was
I didn't know
called Fat.
It's called Fat.
I thought it was called Fat.
Is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay, I don't think Moby Dick was about. I read Moby Dick when I was in elementary. I don't think it was about like a fat guy.
No, yeah, no,
but
it's
like it's a play on words. I think like
Mhm.
calling him Moby Dick or whatever.
yeah, because he's a fat white
Oh.
guy, I guess.
Well, that's not a play on words, but okay.
Mhm.
I just
Oh,
I don't care.
We're not talking about the fucking movie.
Um,
I mean, the
how do y'all feel though about Cartoon Network show? I personally don't get, like, you probably noticed it. Like, I'm indifferent. Like, I just don't give a shit. Like, are you guys like heartbroken, or like how do you feel about that?
oh, okay, then I guess I'm the minority in this one. No, yeah, I'm definitely heartbroken about this shit. Cause
Okay.
I do want to be clear. There was like a bit of like false news, fake news going around. Cartoon Network Studios is not shutting down. They are still in production. They're still running. It's just someone leaked information and it turns out it wasn't true, and then people just ran with the story. So I do
Okay.
want to make that clear. But in regards to like, them downsizing and cutting it, yes, I'm upset because at the end of the day, it is people losing their jobs just so other people at the top can save money and keep more of that money in their pocket.
Right,
So
but
I don't
so-
like that.
So yeah, sure, but you could apply that to anything. So it has nothing to
Yeah.
do with Cartoon Network then.
It has
itself.
everything to do with everything, Yeah, like you said, you can apply it to everywhere else. It's still bad, and I still don't like it.
So I guess my question would be, from that aspect, obviously I don't want people to lose their jobs.
Mhm.
But from when you look at it from a content perspective, I'm indifferent if Cartoon Network exists or not.
Mhm.
I think that's my question, because I think to say like it's like, I don't know, like if I never fucking shop at Kmart or Sears when they fucking shut down, like I could care less in terms of like the service they provided, but obviously I don't like that people lost their jobs. So I guess that's what I'm trying to ask. Like, do you care, outside of like people losing their jobs? Do you care that the content? Do you care enough about the Cartoon Network itself?
Yes.
Okay, that was my question. So,
Yes,
like,
'cause-
what content do you feel you consume from them more?
I pretty much still watch all of their Adult Swim content.
Okay.
Rick and Morty is still ongoing, and that's their like number one show right now.
Okay.
And so the thought of shows like Rick and Morty going away, like, yeah, it hurts, especially because
Yeah.
they're doing so good. I mean, the other cartoon they were working on, Primal, that one was nominated for an Emmy, and it came from Cartoon Network Studios. So the
Yeah.
thought of like them cutting it and getting rid of it, meanwhile you have these shows that are literally award winning or award nominated, and you want to kill that to save money? Don't you stand to make more money by keeping it running, getting some more?
Yeah.
Because even let's assume it doesn't win the awards, it's still like advertising.
Yeah.
Someone who's following along and seeing like, hey, what's this show that's nominated that I've never heard of? Oh shit, it's on HBO Max. I have that service. I might as well check it out. And then they might like it. They might get hooked on it, and they could be like, oh, dang, I can see why it was nominated. And they can keep it going.
But do you watch Rick and Morty live?
No. Because I don't have cable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel it's also like, and I think what sucks is that this is the way that the pain or the relationship between the consumer and the fucking subscription service, like it tends to be that the costs in that regard usually go to the consumer. So like, yeah, you could say like, hey man, it's an award-winning show, that's promotion in and of itself. But in order for what is it, a live show, like a live action show?
Which one?
Not Rick and Morty, the other one you mentioned.
No, it's animated.
Anime. So if they have a show that's like live action, and then it gets really hot, like really popular. Hey, season 3's coming up. Oh shit! Well, it's really popular, man. And as an actor, like now I'm like the face of that shit. I don't want the fucking measly fucking contract that I had for the first 2 seasons. So right off the bat on talent alone, now you tend to spend more. But back in the day when the fucking Friends cast, they all wanted to get paid like $1.5 million a year, and they all wanted to make the same money. Okay, well, now if Head and Shoulders wants to fucking advertise during a Friends run, like it's going to be a more expensive ad because that, you know, they're the ones paying for that shit. But in this fucking kind of system that's in place, like maybe it has to do with like budgeting. Like, bro, okay, yeah, it's a really popular show, but now the talent wants more money. Now the production costs are going up, and do we with barely coming out of like a pandemic where people are struggling to choose? They don't have time to watch TV all day, so now they're picking and choosing what subscriptions they're fucking canceling. Man, I don't think it's in our best interest to fucking jack up the prices. So the survival of these companies, the more you spend is for more. Look at Netflix right now that's struggling. It's more subscriptions. And if they're not getting those subscriptions, fuck, bro. Like sometimes you gotta axe a show simply on fucking fiscal reasons. Like we just can't afford to make those shows anymore. And I think that's one of the things that Netflix fucked up at. They started making all these fucking movies with A-list actors, and they started to make all the... Bro, but you're not releasing these movies in theaters. Like, you're not making that money back. Like, you're fucking releasing these... You're depending on your fucking subscription base to keep fucking paying a monthly fee. What do you think about that? Like, or like, do you think I'm kind of like on the ballpark?
I think in the grand scope, yes. It's because the reason the Warner Bros. Situation is a bit different is because all of this is happening because of the merger. If it weren't for that, Warner Bros. Would still be thriving. I mean, the company was thriving before the merger. It's now that they're combining that the new guy in charge is the one that's cutting a lot of this stuff. And I don't know if it's just contract reasons or profit reasons or what.
Or it could even be creative reasons. Like, hey, now that we're the owners, like, I don't like the way you're running your fucking show. Like, how about you do this? Nah, fuck all that. A lot of creators, believe it or not, like, doesn't matter how much you want to pay them. Like, nah, bro, I'm not okay with that. Like, I want full creative control of my show. No? Okay, well, fuck off.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing with this one, like that, you know, you have these projects that are done and they're never going to see the light of day as a result of this. And so I do think in the grand scope, it was just a bad call to kill a lot of these projects. But yeah,
I mean, never say never, dude. Because like the Snyder cut ended up getting released, even though supposedly it was never going to see the light of day. Like I still think like Batgirl's going to come out eventually. Like kind of like pull a Deadpool and like someone's going to leak a tiny bit of it online and they're going to be like, oh shit, this is the best movie ever since fucking Passion of the Christ or some shit.
Yeah,
No
but it could
fucking,
be.
like,
But to
release
Juan's point, that could be. It could be years.
It
Yeah.
could be.
No, it's gotta
Sitting
be
on,
years.
sitting on a product like that.
But yeah, but in regards to like, Netflix and streaming, it's I think it was like Matt Damon that he was like in an episode of like Hot Ones where he explained it in that the reason back then you could like take a risk on a movie is that you have the initial run in like theaters, but then let's assume a movie comes out and it doesn't do good in theaters. And the example he gave was The Iron Giant. When it came out in theaters, it didn't do that good. And then when it came out on VHS and DVD, it didn't do that good because it didn't do that good in theaters anyway. So then they distribute the movie kind of cheap because people didn't really care about it. So Cartoon Network picks it up and then they start running it like on marathons. And then people started watching it at home, and then that's when it got a cult following. People saw it on TV and went, holy shit, this movie's really good. And then they went to the store and they bought the movie. And so this movie that flopped in the theaters actually made its money back and then made a profit on VHS and DVD sales.
Yeah.
So that's why you could kind of risk on some of these projects back then, because you know that eventually you could make your money back from either sales or from showing it on TV.
Yeah.
But now, because of streaming, DVD and Blu-ray sales are low because people just say, nah, it'll be on streaming. I'll just wait for streaming. Yeah. And so now you really can't take that much of a risk anymore because the chances of you making a profit is a lot harder now because now it's set on people actually sitting down and watching it on streaming. You can't rely on getting your money back later, like on DVD and Blu-ray sales, like you could back then.
Yeah. Well, and that's on us, bro, because we don't. Mm-hmm. That's on the this is like consumer analysis. Like that's people don't take that risk because people are not watching those types of movies, bro. Mm-hmm. And I think it might have been Matt Damon himself who talked about how you don't see that. You know how sometimes you see like these random movies where fucking like Tom Cruise or fucking whatever A-list actor was in. Like, holy shit, that guy was on it. Like fucking what was this girl's name? She was really popular in the 90s. She did Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan was like in a bunch of like 90s movies that what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
That you would see like late night on like fucking TBS and shit. Because Meg Ryan was the moneymaker. Because Tom Hanks was a moneymaker. Matt Damon himself was a moneymaker. But now it shifted to where a franchise is the moneymaker. So, hey, do we want to make this like kind of like indie, cheesy rom-com with... I don't know who would be a popular actor right now. Like I don't know, like fucking
Tom Holland,
Emma Stone, and whoever. No, why don't we just do Spider-Man 14? Because people line around the block to watch that shit. So it was either Matt Damon or this other motherfucker. What's his name? That he did Ben Affleck. It was one of these two motherfuckers that was talking about that. There's no more like Tom Cruise is one of the last and Leo DiCaprio one of those last like, if anything, they're those like A-list blockbuster actors that Tom Cruise did a movie, let's go watch it. Back in the 50s, whoever the fuck did fucking Marlon Brando did a random ass movie. People would line up around the block, hence Blockbuster. They would line up around the block to watch these movies. And that's just not the case anymore. Now it's more, that's why there's so much remakes of like superhero movies. Because this shit fucking sells itself.
Yeah. And
so to your point, you really don't see that risk taken anymore because chances are that the Incredible Hulk has had enough, even if you don't fucking promote it as much, The Incredible Hulk, pretty much everyone knows who the fuck the Incredible Hulk is. But if you do a movie starring fucking Ben Affleck and fucking Meg Ryan today, like, yeah, you have to promote the fuck out of it. And chances are that you're just not going to make your money back.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the downsides of streaming. People don't discover movies like you would back then, you know, like to go back to the Iron Giant, you know. I saw that
unless
movie
they're
on
they're
TV.
made by them.
Yeah.
That's their advantage. Like you put like the fucking algorithm will pitch out their productions, and because they're paying.
Yeah,
they're not paying anyone to do their shit. They're doing it themselves.
Exactly.
So yeah, those are the only movies you truly discover are like fucking Netflix productions.
Exactly.
I mean, those are the ones that come out in the autoplay at the end of like the movie.
Yeah.
So I will give that much. Like it's hard to discover stuff, you know. Like back then, like the Iron Giant, I saw it on TV. I found out about that movie because I saw it on Cartoon Network. So I would not have. I probably would never have watched it. Like I even think like today, like if I was a little kid today, I would not watch the shows that I grew up liking. You know, because I grew up, you know, watching, you know, like Hey Arnold. And I honestly think if I was a little kid today with streaming, and Hey Arnold's on streaming, you can watch it. But I mean, if my choice is to watch that or Ninja Turtles, well, I'm going to stick to Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And then even like on a selling point, it's like, well, what's the Ninja Turtles about? Oh, well, it's about these like cool ninjas and they're fighting like bad guys and stuff like that. It's like, that sounds awesome. What's Hey Arnold about? Some football-headed kid going to school.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why would I watch that? You get it? Little kid me's like, well, I want to watch the show with the ninjas and the fighting.
Well, even you know what? Even the algorithm, obviously, it isn't perfect. The Cartoon Network, you had to watch whatever the fuck was on there. But the algorithm, like, oh, you like Ninja Turtles, you might like this, and then oh shit, look at the fucking Power Rangers or whatever. So you're never gonna discover things because you're never gonna be truly exposed to it.
Yeah.
I remember one of the movies that I was exposed to on Cartoon Network was the fucking Land Before Time.
Yeah.
I was fucking obsessed as a kid with those movies.
I hated
Land Before,
those movies.
Yeah, The Land Before Time. Bro, like, I don't think that's something that would appeal to me if Netflix described it to me. Oh, like some dinosaurs who are friends. This is goofy as fuck, which it is. Yeah. But as a kid, you're exposed to that shit.
I was never a fan of dinosaurs.
What's up?
Fucking Barney, Land Before Time, all that shit. I didn't like it.
Yeah, well,
it might be blasphemous. It might be blasphemous, but I also hated All Dogs Go to Heaven. I thought there was too many fucking sequels.
You also hated what?
All Dogs Go to Heaven.
All the.
Oh, I don't remember.
So did you just not like Don Bluth movies?
Yeah. And
I'm an old soul. I like the old shit. Like fucking Tom and Jerry and shit.
I like Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
And the fucking Looney Tunes and shit.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes was badass.
So yeah. I guess you just didn't like movies from the animated movies from the 80s because all of those Don Bluth, they're from the 80s, man. They died in the 90s because of Disney.
Yeah. Or even those movies like The Sandlot and shit. Like, those are random ass movies that are cult.
I did like The Sandlot.
I think that's an example of The Sandlot that I watched only because they kept playing it on fucking TV almost every weekend. And yeah, that's how it develops a fucking cult following.
Did you see it like me in parts? Like, you would always end up like seeing like the half part of it, and then like eventually you saw the beginning of the fucking movie.
Yeah, you know, fucking almost like a Tarantino experience, like fucking out of order and shit.
Yeah. Like, I think I never saw the entirety of A Christmas Story, like, ever.
Yeah,
because they always marathon it like on Christmas on TBS, and so I would only watch it in pieces. I don't think I've ever, like, even today, I don't think I've ever sat down and seen it from beginning to end. I always just watched it in pieces.
Yeah.